Hi, everyone. My name is Dave Krogh. I'm CEO and one of the co-founders of Salin247. We're based in Ames, Iowa. So I grew up on a farm in northern Iowa, not too far from Spencer. I'm also involved in a couple of farm operations right now, but literally for the last 50 years I've been driving tractors like this. I love tractors. I've always loved tractors. But in my lifetime, tractors have changed a lot. They've gotten much bigger, much heavier, and as you know, a lot more expensive. So what do we get with big, heavy, expensive farm machinery? Well, one of the things we get is more soil compaction and all the bad things that come with soil compaction, and the things that are affecting soil health. The other thing we get is high fixed costs, high capital costs that are off the charts right now. Both of these problems have economic implications. So Iowa State has estimated that soil compaction reduces corn yields 10 to 20%. So on our farm, that's a revenue hit of about $120 to $240 an acre. And there's some estimates that show that yield loss could be as much as 50% on some soils in some years. And the high capital costs are just compounding our problems with low capital utilization as well. The good news is we don't have to use big, heavy, expensive equipment. So last year, Salin247 built and tested a prototype small planter. You can see it's a 4-row planter. We got good feedback from what we were doing. So the most important thing we got was feedback from farmers that helped us think about what we need to do better. So we're in the process of building a more comprehensive platform now for a small-scale, lightweight, autonomous farm equipment. We have a small team that's working on this. I'm the guy with white hair, but I'm surrounded by young, smart people, including a couple of innovative but practical farmers, Doyle Stern and Brandon King. So let me just talk a little bit about the components of our platform. So the key component is what we call the drive unit. It's the power unit of the system. It's a simple design. It's a 7x7 toolbar attached to 4 tracks. Each track has an electric motor and a gearbox. We have a hydraulic system on the drive unit. There's a computer system, and then it's navigated by RTK GPS and software and cameras. So the drive unit attaches to a range of different field implements. We're starting with the planter. Again, we're starting with a 4-row planter with our second kind of iteration of our prototype. It's 4-row, 30 inches. It's got John Deere row units. And we're using precision planting software and electronics on this. Since the framework is modular, we can take the planter off, we can add a boom and a tank, and now we have an autonomous liquid system. So this summer we're going to be testing a 30-foot boom with Y drops to do side dressing nitrogen in corn. And we're using egg leader technology for this system. Another important component is the docking station. We want to be able to autonomously, hands-off, refill crop inputs like seed, fertilizer, and chemicals. Initially, our docking station is going to be fixed, but ultimately it'll be mobile across the end of the field. So let me just touch on some of the benefits. The obvious one is it's a lot lighter than a typical tractor in the field. Our drive unit weighs 1,400 pounds. You don't give up, even though you're going to smaller equipment, you don't give up capacity. The idea is, since it's scalable, you're able to use as many machines as makes sense on your farm, and they work together in the field together. Another benefit that farmers have told us about, we didn't really think about this too much in the early days, but if one of our machines goes down, you don't lose your whole capacity. If you have one big planter and you hit a rock, whatever, lose a row unit, your whole capacity to plant is down. We only lose part of the capacity. Another big advantage that we, again, didn't think about too much, due to the light weight, we can get in the field a lot quicker than the bigger equipment. So some farmers have told us, 5 minutes after a heavy rain, they could get in with their sprayer or their side dress machine. If needed, our Salin247 machines can go 24/7. And then on the cost side, we think with the comparable capacity that our capital expenditure costs, our fixed costs, could be 25 to 35% lower than the traditional. And as well as the operational costs we see is up to 50% less for things like energy and maintenance and labor costs. There's a lot going on in this space, but most of the effort is in looking at making big, heavy, expensive equipment autonomous. And our problem with that is they don't address soil compaction and they don't address the cost of the machinery. So we think we're positioned in a good spot in terms of the size of our machines and the modularity to address both soil compaction and high cost. So we haven't been doing this alone. Obviously we have the great help of the awesome Ag Launch team. We're working with the two farmer-focused funds, Ag Venture Alliance and Ag Startup Engine, and then we're also working with Precision Planting, Ag Leader, and a company called REG that's helping us with our biodiesel use. So we rely on farmer feedback to kind of guide us in our development, our product development. So this year we're starting with field trials. We'll be working with 10 or 12 farms. We expect to get really good feedback from those folks. But as we scale this, we want to continue to get feedback because that'll help us in our product development process. So our second version of our prototype planter is ready to go. This is in our shop in Ames. And we're anxious to get going on our field trials. And as soon as the weather clears in Iowa, we'll probably get going. So this is actually a field near Boone, Iowa, not far from our office. 85 years ago, this field was planted with a team of horses, and then tractors showed up on this farm, and it's been planted with the use of a tractor ever since. But in April, Salin247 is going to come into this field and plant this field without any tractors, signaling kind of a new era that the panel was talking about. So what does the future look like? Salin has a vision for the future, but our opinion is really farmers are going to drive where these kinds of technologies go, and we want to stay really close to farmers and their input. So we're anxious. We'd love to talk to farmers. I'll be out at the Ag Lunch booth, but love to meet you and hear about your farming operation. Thank you.